My name is Jessica Pack and I teach 6th grade social studies. My final project is a mashup of the commercial game Minecraft, gamification, and an original narrative RPG. I've used Classcraft for behavior management and the basic gamification of content for several years. But this semester, when we started talking about the concept of chocolate broccoli, I knew I needed to do a lot of work on my gamification approach in order to take it to the next level. What is the next level? That was a cause for considerable thought over the course of the semester. To me, it is the combination of narrative gamification to create epic meaning, game-based learning, and a quest-based approach to instruction. Here's how my mashup breaks down. My game is a trimester-long narrative RPG that takes place in a fantasy universe called the Kingdom of Aramanth. Students will act out the roles of warriors, healers, and mages. These 3 character classes are already the basis for the avatars in Classcraft, but now I've modified all the tools in Classcraft to be less about behavior and more about actions that students can take during the course of the game. Students will engage in the narrative in an episodic fashion, not unlike our experience here in EDTECH532. Every Monday, students will gain access to a new episode or chapter of the story. I am writing the narrative installments in a choose-your-own-adventure style, so students will have to actively participate in the storyline. The basis for my narrative RPG comes from a movie script some of my video production students wrote last spring. They wrote a movie about, you guessed it, Classcraft. They developed a 3-act storyline, fleshed out characters who were warriors, healers, and mages, and created a big bad to be the boss to defeat at the end. We filmed the project last spring, and currently they're still in post-production, but I decided to leverage their hard work to be the basis of my game. At the end of every episode, students will be faced with a choice. Their choices will determine where the story goes during the following weeks. In order to write an engaging narrative, I spent a lot of time reading articles published by dungeon masters who routinely write their own narrative adventures for the Dungeons & Dragons gameplay. They had a lot of suggestions for how to make the storylines as compelling as possible in order to maintain player interest. Since every Monday is a new episode, the rest of the week students will engage in quest-based learning using 3D Game Lab. I've been working on building out quests for the first unit of instruction in my social studies class for next year. We only have a few weeks of school left, and I want to make sure I have time for a quality build. Here's an example of the first quest. It's called How to Win Social Studies. It lays out the winning conditions for the class, and I tried to keep it really fun in terms of how I presented the information. I told students that quests are designed to prepare you for class adventures. You will be tasked with exploring the cultures of the past, exercising your geography skills, and sharing what you know with others in order to defeat the evil overlord. So those are some direct tie-ins to the narrative adventure that students will already have started. I also have some rules kind of built in terms of XP and an attempt to kind of help students pace themselves appropriately. I've really tried to keep them open-ended and allow for a lot of autonomy and choice. There's everything from just basic geography lessons that I would normally maybe present the materials in a flipped environment, or for some of them present it in a whole class instruction environment. Now I'm just kind of giving them the materials and letting them move at their own pace. And then I have the submission details for each quest so that there's a deliverable to keep students accountable. That's also going to help me kind of gauge which students maybe need intervention. Another quest strand that I'm developing is the Archaeology Strand, which is virtual field trips. There's a lot of great resources on the internet, so I'm going to have my students have exposure to one virtual tour per unit, and then they'll go through, and after their exploration, they'll record a video reflection to share what they've learned using the camera app on their Chromebook. Throughout each week, as students work in 3D Game Lab, the mechanics of Classcraft will come into play. Each Monday episode moves students further along their narrative journey, and the daily events in Classcraft will add to the experience throughout the rest of the week. I've modified the events so that they can add value to the narrative as opposed to being disjointed and separate from the actual game. Students will respond to events by utilizing the powers of their character class. They will have to make strategic choices about which powers to develop first and how to exercise them. The end of every unit actually ends in a Minecraft challenge. So that's where the commercial game kind of comes into play in my scenario. This is the first Minecraft challenge that students will be taking on. And so in this quest, they travel through the forest of Eveline in the kingdom of Aramanth, which is really a Minecraft map. Students explore the land and they are collecting screen captures of various landforms and bodies of water that they encounter. That was the topic of unit number 1, which was basic geography skills. So it's a good way for them to get introduced to Minecraft, and it's also a good way for them to be able to practice the content. This is a copy of the student adventure log, which is the deliverable for this particular quest. It's the place where students document all of their screen captures, and then there's also a survey in there that they'll take to share their prior experiences with Minecraft, and that will help me balance out the teams so that there's at least one expert per team. Overall, my game mashup will appeal to several different brain hex archetypes. Seekers will enjoy the curiosity that comes with the narrative adventure, and they'll probably also enjoy exploring during the Minecraft quests. As will socializers, they'll like that a lot of the work is collaborative. Achievers and conquerors will probably enjoy accumulating XP, and I think they'll also enjoy the building process in Minecraft, because for the conquerors, it's about having the best building, and achievers are about meeting the goal of the assignment or the goal of the game as much as possible. Survivors will probably enjoy battling bosses during the narrative adventure game, and they'll probably like opportunities for survival mode in Minecraft. My learning theory mashup influenced my design because overall, constructivism, cognitivism, and connectivism is inherent in this type of redefinition of the learning environment. Students have multiple daily opportunities to participate in the social construction of knowledge, and their use of one-to-one technology enables connectivism because students are able to synthesize their understanding from a wide variety of sources, experiences, and aspects of gameplay. They are also able to produce artifacts of learning, as structured by everything from the game mechanics to the narrative importance and the large amount of autonomy and choice in the quests. My hope is that this blend of learning theories and the blend of gamification, narrative RPG, and Minecraft will result in a compelling classroom experience.